just yes.
You want me to start some impartation?
No. Oh
Lord. Daddy.
With us on Rock City 101.9 FM, still the direct show Citizens Forum segment is what we are on, and we have been talking about the different and lingering industrial actions and the challenges between the NMA, the Jehesu, and the federal government. And we've been having him with us in the studio, Dr. Adewumi Alayaki. And of course, he's been opening up on so many issues for us. And now it's time for us to leave the lines open and all the channels for you to be part of this so that you can ask your questions and also make your contributions. And remember, when you're making your contributions, just make it as short as possible and precise as well. And we have the student line 0809 868 7344, or you call 0909 146 9670. You can also use the shortcut platform 32120. All you need to do is type rock, ROCK, leave a space. Let's have your comments or your contributions or your questions, include a name, send it to 32120, or you tweet at Rock City FM, or you use our Facebook fan page, Rock City 101.9 FM.
All right, that's it, and please ensure that the rules of the game is adhered to. Move away from that telephone when you're from the radio when you're putting that call through, and no insult, please. There should be no insult, no abuse on any individual or personality as you make your comments. Don't come up with claims that cannot be substantiated. We don't want falsehood or propagation. All right, let's go.
Good morning, Dr. Layaki, our secretary.
Good morning, sir.
Once a secretary, always a secretary.
Thank you, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You've spoken so well.
Thank you, sir.
But I want to make one or two comments. And I will want to start with the question.
Yes, sir.
Can we have peace in health?
Yes, sir.
And then I will ask you, can they have world peace? In fact, it's not even desirable to have too much peace. Too much peace is not good for
the health sector is not as good as the world. It's not as big.
Yes, I'm saying. And too much as that, peace that really would create this thing. I'm just joking. Yes, we can. And if you want to. And we can, to some extent. But there are certain misconceptions. Like what has been said, can nurses run hospitals? Of course, yes. It's only that we look at nurses in Nigeria as those ones people in white standing on the road asking for taxis to go to work. Nurses are professors.
Yeah.
Nurses teach in the university.
Yeah.
Nurses are running. In fact, one of the best lectures I've ever had on prostate cancer in the United States of America was delivered by a nurse who was from the University of California. So when we look at nurses, they don't look down at the ones we see. We look down at that. Unfortunately, nurses allow themselves to be looked down upon. No, it's not true. They can't. Nurses run the theater. That's the happening that is not places. So they can run it. But we are coming to federal government hospitals. When you talk of federal government, there's a law which says, and Allah has said it, that for you to be a medical director, you must be a fellow for a particular period of time. Dr. Allah in the spirit knows that there was a time we appointed an MBBS, a BDS, to be a medical director who had no fellowship. Yeah. In this country, with that law, Decree 10, Decree 100 of 1985, is still in existence. And MBBS became the head of a tertiary institution in this country. And other people were now asking, wait a minute, how can an MBBS be when I have a PhD? How can an MBBS be when I have a master's? Why can an MBBS be when I have this and this? That is what that's why those who want to be medical director. We should let us situate it very well. The decree is there, but what happened to Federal Ministry? Federal Ministry of Health, Sector 1, who is MBBS, becoming a hospital, a tertiary institution, signing fellowship letter for people to get fellowship exams. And a very terrible thing will happen. Nobody talked about it. So what are we talking about now? Even most of the problems we now have, nurses wanting to be consultants. Who started it? He started in one of our tertiary institutions. Exactly. When a doctor, a medical director appointed his wife, a consultant, as a nurse. What are we talking about? For goodness sake, let us leave this in. Can we have it? Yes. When we respect other people, there are so many things I cannot say for obvious reasons. Yeah. And Allah will know why I will not say. We cannot say it, but for goodness sake, let us please respect each other. Nothing should not work without this and what have you. As the ARD is a branch of enemy. You cannot be an ARD and not enemy member. For goodness sake, before ARD goes on strike, enemy must be informed and they will sanction it. So it's not as if ARD alone, the doctors. Then if you had MBBS, you want to do your postgraduate at your age, you can see the resident doctor. So it's not baby doctors. That is another thing people say, which is not correct. Everybody at the age of 90, and you still want to be a postgraduate, so you are a resident doctor. You don't want to do it. No! Let us leave all this. The problem is for the ministry. Why they don't want to say the truth, they hide under and start bringing other things. That is where the problem is. And number two, they are not funding hospitals well. I can talk about the anybody in my lecture the other 2 Fridays ago, and you heard what I said. The problem is government. Let them sort out themselves and all the other things. Jesus are friends. We are friends of Jesus. We married Jesus. We are their district. So what is this fight they are fighting? There's no fight. It's the inconsistent in the system which brings the so-called person fight. They're not fighting. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Dr. Ebenezer Anko. We actually have to give him that much of a time to talk from his experience. If those who don't know, he was once an acting CMD, Chief Medical Director. So this is his field. That's why we permitted him to also share.
Sir, to buttress his point, I mentioned that if at all they want to aspire to become the CMD, they should just approach, the National Assembly so that the law regulating or that established the CMD, teaching hospitals that says only those who can aspire to be, so it can be changed. And if it's changed in their favor, no problem. Just like from what he said, so I don't think there should be any problem.
Okay, let's take more calls. Let's take them. Good morning. You sound faint.
Yeah.
Okay, it's better now. Yes, better now.
So please, our guest this morning, please, I only want to understand one thing. You said government. Please, who are those governments? Because I find out that it is your brother, my brother, our brother that is in that seat. 2019, they are going to be there again. That is those people that you know. You may be there again, though. I'm answering government. And one other thing, can you serve two masters at the same time? Because I need to know that the reason why this strike every now and there, just because they have something to do. Assuming that there's no way income is coming in, they could have resolved it because doctors, they are just like police, army, so on and so forth. How do you see them go for strike? But the masses are suffering it. When the government you are talking, when they have sickness or whatever, they go outside the country to go and train it. But I myself here and you are suffering it. Please, how is it going to be? Is this right? Have a nice day.
All right, thank you. I wonder why are people linking this to 2019? I don't know.
I can't figure it out.
I don't.
All right.
I don't know. Okay, let's add your call. Hello.
Hello.
Morning.
Morning. Please, can you speak up a bit?
Can you speak up, Reverend Alabi? All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I want to believe that this group of people you are talking about, the medical doctors and the rest, they are very respected people and they are very responsible, I believe. And the government on their own side should do the needful. And even the management of those hospitals should respect the agreement between the doctors, the GSO, and other group of people working in the hospital, and do the needful. I believe if they do that, these people, by the grace of God, will discharge their duty as at when due. Like yesterday, I was hearing from the news that the chief coach of Spike, the salary is about 50 million per month. Compared to those people working tirelessly every day, day and night. Please, the government and the management of those hospitals should please respect the agreement between their workforce. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, one call more and then we'll maybe add messages.
Good morning, Bella. Good morning, Aguilera. Good morning, Dr. Layake.
Good morning,
My
sir.
name is Jamal. I'm calling from Abeokuta.
You're welcome, sir.
Yes, Demola.
Yeah, now, what do Dr. Layake, how do you say about the insincerity with government and the people, and at the same time, you bring yourself there, in-house fighting within yourself. How do you resolve it? And how does it come by? After people have agreed on something, and at the end of the day, government will now use divide and rule on something, and then you'll be destabilized. That is one. Then two, our Minister of Health was once the secretary of enemy or somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Why is it that when they get power, they will not be making rules antagonizing the organization? Why is it so? Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. I love your questions, the two questions you asked. Number one, I'll start from the rear. The Minister of Health was the former NAT secretary. He was the former secretary of Nigerian Medical Association at national level, and now, a former VC of University of Ibadan, and now the Minister of Health. Actually, at times when you sit down with these people, you pity them because if they want to do anything, they have the power, the final say, they will do the right thing. But because they still have a principal they have to report to, who will be the final person to say, okay, yes, let us approve. At times when you sit down, you see the disappointment in them. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, when people are disappointed like that, rather for them to say, look, if you don't give me, the room to function as what the name I'm being called, let me just resign. So they just want to continue, to do what have you. And doing that, at times, they are destroying the name you have built over the years. You understand? Only few Nigerians that will do that. I say, okay, I think I've had enough. You are not going to do the right thing because this is the right thing to be done. If you're not going to do it, let me just throw in the towel. So that's number one. Number two, the relationship between government and doctors, nurses, or what have you. Like I said, if government should do the right thing, and say this is what we have on paper, this is this is that, and put everything there. I won't lie to you. Nobody. There was no love lost between among health workers in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, even 90s. Suddenly this whole thing just, even if they were any that time, it was not as as pronounced as we are having now. And Dr. Oncom he threw some light to what we have on ground. But unfortunately, the whole thing started rearing its head. I'm seeing myself as the alpha and omega, you understand? Because dear Lord, we cannot say everything and will not talk to ourselves too. At the level of doctors, we talk to ourselves. As the leader of the team, you have to carry every other person along. You don't say because of what have you. But when other things are put in place for proper functioning of the health sector, everything will fall into place. And if you now say this is that, if you you cannot conform with what we have on ground, then the best thing for you is to resign. But everybody will have known that government has done its own part. But when government has not done its own part and you just want things to be done this way, nothing will happen. And when you are meeting with NMA, this is what you will do. You're meeting with USU, this is what you will do. That's why I said they can call us together under the same roof and let us discuss. And when we discuss, we now say, okay, how do we harmonize everything we have discussed here? And by the time you bring out the harmonized version of the documents you have signed, honestly speaking, everybody will have known that, okay, government has done its own part. But what we are looking for, what we are asking for, everybody is asking for relevance. Everybody is asking for, okay, if I put this one, some of the demands, at times it is not doable. This demand is not doable. But you put it there just to call attention. But by the time you now sit and say, this one is not doable, this one you cannot do, this one is not possible, but this one is possible, everybody will agree that truly this one is possible, this one is not possible. But we need to approach all these issues in the right manner. And once we approach in the right manner, we harmonize everything together and we'll come out with a document that will be acceptable to all in the health sector. Then going for Reverend Alabi Mike. Well, we thank God for everything. You said enemy, the issue, they are very respected and responsible. Government should do the needful and respect any agreement signed. Yes, I agree with you. If, like I said, at times, they knew ab initio that they cannot do what they are signing. I see no reason why they should sign. I see no reason why you tell them that we cannot do this thing. Give us time. Let us go and put our house in order. And after we must have put our house in order, they've been telling us for the past 2 years now. They want to build 700 and what have you, primary health centers in some of the 4 local governments. I don't think they've laid any foundation in any of the local governments. They've been telling us none of them has been done. And these are the things we demanded for. That okay, fortify, strengthen the primary health care delivery in this country. You find that all these problems are going to come down. And they agreed, they signed for us. Until tomorrow, no single block has been laid in any of the local governments, which is very, very wrong. When you know you could not do it, why did you use to campaign? Why did you say, okay, we'll do it for you? And we know masses. Look at NHIS. We have been talking about NHIS. It's the key in anywhere because no health is not free. It's being paid for by somebody. And if you can do that one and let people pay, by the time you get to the hospital, out of pocket, nothing, you are not paying for anything. You just get there. And if you go to Europe and America, if you want to do MRI, it is captured. If you want to do CT scan, it is captured. And you just walk in, you do it, and you go. And somebody is going to pay for it. Nobody is part of the contribution you'll be making. But we've been talking about it. Let us help our people. So once that one is done, it's even going to fight quackery. But government has been paying lip service to it. And when you're going to listen to government, you find corruption here and there. Somebody has embezzled the money here. We government can be sincere for once and tackle all these hydra-headed problems. They are going to be a good solution at the end of the day. Then talking about who are those in governments? Yes, it is human beings are in government. It is human beings. But you see, once you are not in power and you don't have money, so when you get to power, that's when you start seeing all those things. And our system, has given room for that because somebody has that power. If I say go, they go. If I say don't go, they don't go. Until when we come together and put a structure that there's not only one person that will say go. One that is existing structure, you follow what we have. We follow what we have on ground, and the system will work. There was a time I said, there are this show of house officers. House officers will finish. They finish their program. For you to employ another house officer, you have to write again to government to give approval, which is wrong. Put a structure. Should that go? Should that come? The money is always coming. Once you finish your 12 months, you go. Another set you take immediately. And once MDCN has given you accreditation that you can always take 50 house officers, and money is coming, you don't need to. There won't be any gap. But nobody is doing that just because they know that the period, when some house officers must have gone, and for the period they are asking for another one to come on board, the money that's supposed to be for their salary is going to be going to private pockets. So you understand my point? So nobody will not support it. But if you can put a structure that should that go, should that come, once you know that you cannot take more than 50 house officers, once they exit the program, you take another 50. The money is there for you to pay. That's the structure. You don't need approval of anybody. So until when we get to a level that we can put up structures that will work in this country, and it's not only in health sector, in everywhere, that you know that this is what is being done, and that if you don't do it, people will question you. You understand? So those are the things. Unless government comes out and be sincere with the people they are leading. If they are not, you keep on shouting. And in this country, part of the world, we always say, I'm all alone. We always accept everything. I pity people at times. I pity workers at times. They are coming with something like, okay, 30,000 naira as minimum wage. We are looking at it. Is that feasible? But don't let me talk about it. Don't let me raise up sentiments, whip up sentiment now. You understand? It is not. It is not. But you see, people that are supposed to know better, some of people will say, oh, it's a big money, let us take it. Within 2 months, you know that money is not even enough for you to do anything. So now you strengthen the naira without increasing the salary, the wage. Or if you allow the salary to be falling any day, anytime, then you increase the wage.
Alright, we got some tweets here. This came from Ololade. Kindly consider the nursing curriculum to know if they don't have idea of all aspects. And still coming from Ololade, if we want to truly work as a team in the health sector, this mindset won't help us. We got another tweet from Ololade. Please invite your HESO leaders too. There needs to be a balance of opinion on these issues. Yemi Da Vinci tweeted, Dr. Layaki has already hit the nail on the head. Government insincerity is the basis of all the strike actions. We got this one from Prince Adewale. It saddens that government will owe health workers and teachers salary. May God help us. Ololade tweeted, peace is possible in the health sector only when each party does not see itself as the alpha and omega. NMA should stop this. And we got this one from IG King _Fields. Yeah, what's the name of the app? All right, we'll get back to you on that. Those are the tweets we got here. We're still expecting your tweet. Just tweet at Rock City FM, All right, that's the Twitter handle. Going straight to...
I quickly check them. Number one from Damilare that nursing curriculum, what are you? I am not contesting whatever you have in the curriculum, neither am I contesting the curriculum of any other group in the health sector. But what we are talking about is that if you have an instant law, you understand the rules and regulations that establish the what is it called, the teaching hospitals, and you want to change it, what you need to do is either go to the National Assembly and make a proposal that this thing, and you support it with relevant documents and information that you believe will help your cause. Anything short of that, those who made those laws up initially must have considered a lot of things. So if you want to change in it, then you now know that we have this, we have this, we have that. Go and present your papers at the National Assembly, and if they consider all those things good enough, even if anybody is writing against them, they will tell you no. With what we have on what have you understand? Because now we believe in information, and with what we have now, we believe we should give it this way or we should change it this way. Anything short of that, we'll still be telling you this is what we have on paper. Then number two, we know the government is necessary, like what I've been telling you. Then doctor-patient ratio, like I said, we have less than 40,000 doctors practicing in Nigeria to attend to the health of over 190 million Nigerians. When you look at it, you find that it is so appalling. And I've been telling people, there is no doctor that's seen a patient. By the time you are seeing the 18th or 20th patient in a day, you must have reached your carrying capacity. Because unless you are doing a wishy-washy job, you are not tracking them very well. You just say, what is your problem? What have you quickly allow them to go. But if you want to do a thorough job for every patient you are seeing, by the time you are seeing the 20th patient, you will have reached your carrying capacity. But you see, and that's why at times that we fatigue here. In Nigeria, in the last 2 weeks, we've lost about 6 doctors. We've lost about 6 doctors. A lady in Nasarawa just finished a call duty, and she got home. She started feeling headache, and by the time she got to the hospital, she was dead. One was working. She'll be getting married on this Saturday, on the 1st. Last week, she was walking along the road. She collapsed and she died. A young doctor like that. She understand? And a resident in Abu. So when you look at it, you see majority are overworked. So the ratio is so appalling that it's not supposed to be. And if you have that, there is something you need to do. Not to the doctors this time around, to all health workers, to attract them. That okay, if we do this one, maybe it's going to attract more people to come, back to the country, or even to attend to their own health issues. Doctors too fall sick, health workers fall sick, nurses fall sick, pharmacists may fall sick. Do we have the wherewithal to take care of those things when we fall sick? And you are attending to people. So when you look at the government, it's not sincere at all. Now, they oversee this medical tourism. The other time when Buhari, I'm sorry to say this one, was traveling abroad, I said it. I have the paper, Punch newspaper with me, and I said, look, rather than traveling abroad for this problem, the elements that you think that we don't have, why can't you bring, if you believe in those specialists, bring them in here. Let them bring the equipment here. Let them do what have you. By the time they will be leaving, they will have taught our own specialists too, that this is what you could not see, this is what you could not see. They will know, number one. Number two, the equipment they brought will stay with us here. You understand my point? And we can use it for other people. Instead of you traveling every and then. Why are we to where we are now? If you put your own house in order, do you have to travel abroad? It's not only Buhari. Every, once they get to a level in service or what have you, they believe they have anything, you should just take the next available flight and travel. And you now leave those who elected you, those who are paying tax, you understand, for you to remain in office, use their money, and you leave them to the shoddy, what have you have, and the system you have in the land. Sure, understand? How many patients you see now with head injury that you say go and do CT scan for me or MRI for me, that can afford it. But if you have NHIs in place or whatever, you take them there, you see the card on them, they do it for them without them paying at that point, and you can be able to treat them very well. We have the wherewithal, but because there's no political way to do it, that's what we're having. So until our government is sincere, and because our people are not asking questions, anybody, when they are asking questions, rather they're in the opposition, they're not sincere. When PDP was in opposition, this APC were asking a lot of questions because they were in the opposition, painting them black out. What have you? Now APC is in government, PDP is now doing the same thing to them. When they were there, what did they do? Did they do anything? No. So the few people that you see that are asking questions here and there are because they have lost power, or when they were seeking power. So, but let people who are not politicians, who are not in any of the political party, come out and say what your people are doing is wrong. Now people will now say they are demanding for their rights. They same set of people that are supposed to ask questions will be the first people that will be condemning those who are asking for their rights. If teachers should go on strike today, you see people will be telling them, because of our children, because of what have you. Tell government to do the right thing for the teachers
before they go
on strike. But they will not ask. It's only when they go on strike, you not start blaming them. Until when we all come together and say we must demand for our rights from government, irrespective of the profession we are talking about. Whether it is ASU we are talking about, whether it is teachers we are talking about, whether it is labor we are talking about, tell government to do the needful. All this money they are taking here and there, that they are stealing here and there. If we are demanding for them, there won't be enough for them to steal. So those are the issues we have. Now you ask about what is dichotomy in the health sector. I don't really understand what you mean by dichotomy in the health sector anyway. But people are talking about relativity, and
because I've heard people also say the medical professionals have been pampered. For instance, if you are coming into the civil service, it's not you are not starting with the same grade level.
Yeah, let me tell you why that.
And then
let me tell you why that. If you are doing a 4-year course, you have 8 semesters, isn't it? And when you talk of the number of hours, the number of weeks you spent, it is scored based on that. When you are doing MBBS, you understand, you have more than 6 years divided by the semester or multiplied by the semesters. You have about 12 semesters. Aside from that one, you have in between that you don't even go on strike, you don't go, on holidays at all. So I can say each year is about 3 semesters for them instead of 2 semesters. When you look at it, at the end of the day, they rated MBBS at the same thing as PhD by the time you are coming out. Just in terms of the number of hours you put into your studies, so in content and in what's it called? So by the time you want to enter, that is the level that you enter with. It's only if you are demanding, because people they lack information. They just believe, why must you a doctor enter at level 12? Once you now see that number of hours put into your training, and if somebody has done PhD and it has put the same number of hours into his own training, and they are entering at level 12, and you have done the same thing, so you enter at that level. Unless you want to tell them that drop medicine from 6 years to 4 years.
With what you have said, Dr. Anayaki, should it not then be appropriate for some of these professionals, let me use your profession too, because the society recognizes that a special one, that's why they are exempted for some things. There's agencies when there is curfew, when there's restriction of movement, they are exempted from all those things. We thought that's fair. So, is it not? Don't you think we should not pull this group of professionals out of the public service rule?
We have said this. We have asked for it that they should remove from the concurrent list and be put in exclusive list. Just Earth should not be in the concurrent list. But the willpower to do it lies with the government. They will not allow it to fly, and they know the reason why they will not allow it to fly. Understand? So those are the issues.
We quickly take some again from Yamida Vinci. What we need right now is a state of emergency in the health sector. We need more hospitals and doctors and also nurses. Prince Adewale tweeted, the Bible says that do not muzzle an ox when it is threshing. This is what the government of the day is doing to civil servant. Again from NRS Deidre Ognoiki, why is it that NMA prevents government from approving Johesu demands seen in the last Johesu strike? Has Johesu ever done such? And we got this one from Shodunke Kazim. Government should just help us on a health sector. Most government hospitals lack adequate facilities. And more tweets coming in. Maybe we just leave the tweets for now, take a message and then some calls so that you can have your reactions because of the time. We got this one from Pius from Shaje. If our leaders are still traveling abroad for medical checkup, these problems will continue. We just pick a couple of calls more and then
let us speak two. Let's speak two because there are issues Dr. Anaki has to address.
Hello.
And of course we have less than 10 minutes to do this. Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Dr. Ayodo. Oh, sorry, Mr. Ayodo. Good morning.
All of the above. Thank you. Good morning.
Maybe Dr. Anayaki will call you.
Okay.
Dr. Anayaki.
Good morning, sir.
It's a long time. I thought you have retired.
I'm sorry.
You are long in the business. business.
Thank
You
you.
need to see him. He looks like a 17-year-old physically.
Thank you, sir.
I want your from that corner area.
Okay, sir.
Yes, Dr. Layaki.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Um, a medical worker,
Yes, sir.
transporter, a technician,
Yes, sir.
laboratory attendant,
Yes, sir.
pharmacist wants to become PM.
Yeah.
That's absurd. I am over 77.
Yes, sir.
I've never had it like that. In all hospitals, doctors used to be head. In those days, when doctors are on ward round, nurses will follow them.
Yes,
But
sir.
these days, nurses will just stay away. They just say, let him do the work and will do. Now, is it normal? And is it normal for all other workers wanting to become dead for God's sake? For God's sake. That's why we have all this rottenness in medical setting. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We won't be able to take any other callers. So
Yes,
many messages and tweets, and of
Yes,
course, our guests need to also answer. Before we go back to the tweet, Shelley, Dr. Aki, is it
Yeah.
true that
Yeah.
NMA is preventing
No,
government?
no. Like I said, people in government, when we submitted memoranda to Yarali Ahmed, I said NMA was represented by NMA itself and pathologists. Why other people? There were 30 associations from them, and they all submitted memoranda. They are regulatory bodies submitted memoranda. They looked at everything before they came out with the paper, the final report they came out with. So there was no way we could have been preventing. You know, if you cannot get something through the front door, you don't get it through the back door. If you know this thing is not there, there is a minimum, prerequisite, something laid down for you to be this or be that or be what have you, to achieve this or not to achieve this. If you know you cannot achieve it through the front door, you don't go through the back door. Or rather, go to the National Assembly and say, okay, amend this thing for us, amend this thing for us. And if you want to amend that one, these are the documents to support our claims. We don't just say because we've stayed long in the hospital, I've watched a surgeon, this is how he does it, and this because of that one, I can do it equally. Because he's never done anywhere. You won't say because you are being a crew. And
No, the medical director's position is mainly about administrative
please,
assignment.
but if I'm not saying it, if you want to change it, just those who drafted or crafted that something knew what they were doing. Go to National Assembly and change it there. If you can say true, we sit down together and say, okay, let us have this, let us have this. If it cannot be done, then you don't say because of that one, every now and then you'll be calling on strike or what have you. Go and do the right thing. If you do the right thing, it will be done. So nobody is preventing anybody.
Messages?
Or we just take some tweets more. Jolani Robert tweeted, the insecurity coming from government is the basis for all the problem we're facing. High time they stopped it. And we got this one from IG King Fields or underscore Fields. Thank you very much. I'll get it from the App Store. All right. Thank you, IG King underscore Fields. Prince Adewale tweeted, Dr. Alayaki, why do patients have to pay before seeing doctors after paying for any other necessary things? And this came from Yemi Da Vinci. That President Buhari, Senator Akpabio, and the Ogo getting treatment outside Nigeria is a slap on our health sector. It's infuriating. Shoduke Kazim tweeted again, if we have adequate facilities here, our president wouldn't have the bragging right to travel abroad for treatment. And we got this one from NRS Dedre Ogunoiki. Can't there be a collaboration between nurses, doctors, pharmacists, and other professionals to salvage the Nigerian health sector? Yemi Da Vinci tweeted again, I personally think that doctors are just being arrogant over medical director thing. A medical director is a business manager. And we got this one from Jolani Robert. If federal government can equip the various government hospitals to a reasonable standard, it will record high patronage and money will be made. Kule Gab tweeted, the problem of the health sector is the Ministry of Health and the federal government. And we got this one from James Ajibade. The only way out is for all politicians and head of all government parastatals to stop medical trip abroad. they're not serious with our health sector. We got this one from Yamida Vinci. We need a law that prohibits government officials from seeking medical treatment abroad and in private hospitals. And this came still from Yamida Vinci. Mr. Ayodo, if governments agree to all UN recommendations on budget for health, education, etc., how much will remain in budget? And this came from Akiola Adekunle. Oh, the last caller, despite his age, okay? Now, Akiola Adekunle, you don't worry about that. We've always said it that when you're sending your message, you don't have to insult anyone and you have to mind your language. All right, this is very, very rude. And please, next time, please watch it. Thank you so much. All right, those are the tweets we got here.
All right, thank you for that. Dr. Laki, we are almost up. So let's get to react to some of those tweets.
The only one I'm going to react to is that why patients have to pay before seeing a doctor. Doctors is in business. He went to school.
I think you're talking about the public.
No matter what, I said it. Health is not free. Let government pursue and implement NHIS to the latter. If that one is done, you go to the hospital without paying. But you have been paying one way or the other. Somebody has been paying for it.
Yeah.
But if they're not implementing it, so when you get to the hospital, you have to do out-of-pocket payments. You have to pay for seeing a doctor, and for every facility, anything you're going to take, you have to pay for them. So they should go and attack government. That government, please implement NHIS to the latter.
Well, okay, quickly, because we just have 2 minutes for this. How can the NHS scheme work properly?
Oh, thank you very much. I think on paper, when you look at it, it's a beautiful program. Unfortunately, the managers are the people who are not managing very well. If we started since the days of Obasanjo until today, we have not covered more than 5%, 5 to 15%. You understand? It means that scheme is a failure. Whereas it's not like that in other climes. You understand? What does it mean? It has to be a pool. You have a pool of money somewhere. I pay 500 monthly, but I'm not going to the hospital. Anytime I go to the hospital, they should give me what I'm supposed to be given. If you have 2,000 enrollee in your hospital, the 2,000 will not come to the hospital at the same time. Well, the money of 2,000 have been paid to you. So if only 200, are in the hospital, you use the money for 2,000 people to treat, those people, and you treat them adequately well. So that's the essence of doing NHIs. Unfortunately, as the money is coming in, it's being mismanaged, and everybody is paying lip service to it until we get it right.
All right, until we get it right, and getting it right will not stop on the table or doorstep of everybody but individuals. So do your quota as a Nigerian. Well, that's where we will end it today. Tomorrow, yes, it's a Friday. That means it's an open day. The opportunity will come for all of you to continue with this discussion or any other topic that you think is appropriate. Dele Ayodo is my name. I say God bless you all. God bless Rock City and God bless Nigeria. And of course, thank you so much, Dr. Adewumi Alayaki.
Thank you very much. This now Zoom. I greet you all. Thank you.
I am Agimerio O. I. Good morning.